Hi, Michael. I'm here on Stevens and New York streets, which is part of the evacuated area. Now, a small handful of families stayed at the Salvation Army and 2 other temporary shelters overnight, but the vast majority of people evacuated stayed with friends and family. It's once the sun came up this morning that they started getting antsy about when they get to go home. Now, if you drive anywhere in the vicinity of this fire on Ohio Street, this is what you encounter. There are roadblocks with police stationed at all of them. Lockport's mayor couldn't say an exact number of people displaced, upwards of 200, but did say 9 streets in total were evacuated. The spreading of smoke and heat is ultimately what led firemen to make the decision that this evacuation was the right thing to do.
They let us stay until it started rolling down the building and coming further down the building and further down the building. As it came further down the building, then the smoke just got thicker and thicker and started coming over the house, and that's when they cleared everybody out.
Like everybody else on the block and other blocks, I had to leave the area and find another place to stay.
What's your game plan from now until when you learn you're allowed back in?
Find a nice coffee shop. There are a couple good restaurants in the area.
A lot of the concerns from displaced residents were getting things like daily medications or pets outside of the house. A handful of people were allowed back in very briefly this morning to collect those items, but no one has been allowed back for many hours. At least one woman who was not home when the evacuation started was unable to get her kittens from her house and is concerned about their well-being since she has not been allowed back in to get them. So the remaining question is when? When can residents go home? Again, 9 streets are evacuated. This is Stevens and New York Street. If you look behind me going down Stevens Street, this is the hub of activity. These fire trucks, the firemen, police on scene, because that leads right to Ohio Street, which is where this fire is taking place. The Lockport mayor did say that they would try to get people back in their homes tonight, but could not say an exact time when. They said they would do everything they could to let the media know when they can get a press release out and hopefully get it on the radio as well. Reporting live in Lockport, Erica Brecher, Channel 2 News.
Those folks are hoping they're going to be able to return home pretty soon. Channel 2's Erica Brecher spent the day talking with people who have been displaced by this fire. She joins us with an update on that. Erica?
Hi, Michael. Now, the big update we've heard after just being briefed by the fire chief and the mayor is that the city will decide whether or not this evacuation will continue by about 8 o'clock tonight. So that's the time you're going to want to be paying attention for any big updates. Now, in total, about 200 homes were evacuated. That is 9 streets in total. If we take you to the video now, one of them is Prospect Street, which you can see it's blocked off. A lot of the streets were, and that's where Amy Castle lives. Amy was able to send me these photos she took from her yard just before the evacuation forced her out. So this provides a little perspective as to how close this fire was to homes in Lockport. Residents in general are just doing what they are told and hoping for the best. The good news is, other than soot and ash covering some homes, we're told no houses caught fire.
I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. That's when we had to just get out. So we grabbed animals, we grabbed everything, and stayed with friends last night. We cleared up Bristol, they cleared up Webb Street, they cleared everybody back. So we were back as far as almost to West Avenue, and then that's when they told us that you're not getting back in tonight.
The only thing the residents can do right now is to heed Chief Brady's warning to stay away from that vicinity. We have a lot of trucks in the area, certainly fire hoses, emergency equipment, and a lot of work being done.
Last person you just heard from is Lockport's mayor. Again, she's saying 8 o'clock is when a decision will be made. That will determine whether or not residents can go home. If not, those temporary shelters will stay in place again tonight. The city will try to get that information out to the public quickly via us on the news, social media, the radio, so be looking for that come 8 o'clock. A lot of this evacuation has been precautionary. Again, no house is caught on fire, and while there might be a little smoke damage, the fact that everyone still has a home to return to eventually is certainly some good news, and no doubt thanks to the firefighters. The community has certainly taken note of the incredibly hard work it has taken to prevent any further damage than to the business itself. Our Danny Spiewak has more on that. Danny?